Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be talking about. Let me bring this banner up for the people that are catching this on the playback. AMC stock as AMC stock jumps as airline stocks continue to soar and SEC starts to crack down on social media. So we're going to be talking about the AMC stock, the travel stocks in general are taking off. We're going to be talking about AMC as it's taking a big jump today. Why is it taking a big jump is the question we're going to look at. Let me get my headphones together. And then we're going to look at the SEC starting to crack down on social media. But if you haven't done so already, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and
hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you're now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dice, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we are going to jump straight into it. So, guys and girls, as you can see already, we're going to be talking about the SEC crackdown on social media. We're going to be talking about the travel stocks, airline stocks continue to take off, and AMC. We're going to be talking about that AMC starting to. What are we going to say about AMC? We're going to be talking about AMC. Why are they doing a big rebound or whatever, right? Because I know so many people have been talking about AMC's rebound has been due to a lot of people saying AMC rebound is due to the meme stocks, but I don't think that is it. You have a lot of reason why it's that happening. So if you're catching this live, go ahead and say hello. Don't be a stranger. Let me get my chair together. Don't be a stranger. Then also hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button as you're coming in. So the SEC is cracking down on social media influencers. The SEC is cracking down on social media influencers in the financial space, in the financial world. So, social media, everybody is, let me make sure I got this right. There we go. I'm going to pull up this report here. This is the SEC.gov, came out today. They are cracking down on somebody by the name of OC Millionaire on Twitter. The SEC is cracking down on OC Millionaire on Twitter, right? He got SEC charges for talking about I don't know, penny stocks or something like that. So let's go ahead and read this. Let's roll this beautiful bean footage. It says the SEC obtained emergency asset freeze, charges California trader with posting false stock tweets. From Washington, D.C. on March 15, the SEC Security and Exchange Commission today announced fraud charges and asset freeze and other emergency relief against an Irvine, California-based trader who used social media to spread false information about a defunct company while secretly profiting by selling his own holdings of the company's stock. So according to the SEC, which was filed under a seal federal court in Central District of California on March 2nd, 2021, and it unsealed today. So it got unsealed today. Andrew L. Foster used the Twitter handle OC Millionaire to tweet false information about a company stock named ARCS, which is Arcis Resource Corporation, a defunct Nevada company with a publicly traded security on December 2020. So essentially right here, they're saying somebody by the name of @OC Millionaire on Twitter. If you are following OC Millionaire, I mean, hey, that's on your own business. But somebody by the name of OC Millionaire on Twitter, he tweeted false informations about RCS. So what happened was he purchased a bunch of the company first. Essentially what he purchased a bunch of the company, and then he started tweeting out a bunch of false information about how great the company was. And while everybody was buying it, jumping in as the shares soared, he started selling his shares. Classic pump and dump. But he used his Twitter to push this up with the SEC is claiming. So think about this, right? Somebody by the name of OC Millionaire, they shut him down. They ran behind him, put charges on him. This is letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are you tuning into me now live and catching the playback on social media. You're probably catching me on Facebook. I'm live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. No, not Twitter. I don't really tweet like that. But I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm sorry, I said Twitter instead of Twitch. So essentially, you have right now in the bull market and in economy and social media, you have a lot of people coming out, giving out, what they call the meme stocks. You've seen GameStop run up and down. Everybody said, "Oh man, this is the little guy getting back at the big guy." Then we had GameStop taking off. Everybody remember that whole debacle, what was going on. But now you're seeing the SEC starting to catch up, and they're shutting down people on Twitter. This is a regular guy on Twitter. This is not some celebrity. This is a regular guy who's out there apparently with the SEC saying he pumped and dumped stocks. So this is why you have to be careful with what you follow and tune in. That's why on this show, on this podcast, and this broadcast, I always show factual data. This is on the SEC.gov. Anybody can release this. This came out today. So this is not something that Prince said that he thought that he drummed up himself. You're watching it and you're reading it right now live, or catching a playback, you're sitting for yourself. So the SEC is starting to crack down. We heard the meme stocks caught a lot of steam this year when everybody said, "Hey, look, we got meme stocks doing this and doing that." But now the SEC, I told everybody from the previous episode earlier this year when GameStop took off. When GameStop took off, I told everybody, "Hey, be careful. Be careful. Know what you're up against." Know what you are up against. Now the SEC is going out and hammering people for pumping and dumping on social media. And here's prime example right here where you see the SEC freezes this person's assets and shuts them down. So the SEC is cracking down on social media. Now the next thing I want to get to is AMC stock jump. We've seen a big old jump in today in AMC stock if you're not paying attention to it. Let me pull this up in a second. But AMC, that's a movie theater that's dying. That's a dying sport that everybody kind of gotten rid of and kind of tried to run away from and things like that. But AMC is saying, "Hey, we're not dead." So you got to ask yourself, why is AMC going up? Is AMC going up because of what somebody said or did or whatever? This is what I'm going to show you in this episode, how you can look that information up. So you're going to have a reveal of, hey, today we see AMC stock going up, but why is it running up, right? Why is everybody buying AMC stock? We're going to look straight into that. Y'all give me 1 second here. There we go. That's the best I can do right now. So one of the quickest and easiest ways to do that, I'm going to share this. Let me stop this screen share. Let me pull up is investor relations. So this is what the SEC does when it pulls, not the SEC, but this is what companies do. Let me pull this up. Where are they at? Let me calm down there for a second. Okay. This is coming from investors.amctheaters.com, their press release on their news release. So before I jump into that some more, let me see what y'all are saying in the comments before I get back in. Will, what's going on, Al? He says, "What's going on, bro? Ready to learn." Anyway, what's going on? What's going on? Lucky's mom said, "Good evening, Prince. How you doing, Lucky's mom? I know you're pretty happy with you're gonna be the next topic where we're gonna be talking about that travel stock. And now I'm contemplating on looking at, is travel stocks been becoming overvalued? Is it time to release the travel stocks? I know everybody's looking at me saying crazy. No, they're just warming up. But you got to look at what were their pre-pandemic prices and what are their now prices. What was Southwest Airlines? What was Southwest Airlines price before the whole pandemic struck March of last year? So if we were returning back up to those prices, are we getting back up to those prices? Is it time to rotate do a stock rotation out of travel and head into tech? Because everybody's leaving tech and going to travel. So I posted about this on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's The Investor Show. The Investor Show on Instagram, I spoke about stock rotations. And you seen last year, everybody rolled out of travel and went into tech. And this year, everybody's rolling out of tech and going straight into travel. All right. So Jonathan, what's going on? He said, "Facts, big bro. Let's get this wisdom at work welding and listening to you at the same time. No problem. Nice to see you. Nice to see you there." Also, we got Mr. Or Miss Tori Williams says, "What's happening, brother? What's going on? How you doing? So let's get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. AMC stock jumped today. And if you ever want to see why a stock jumped and you don't want to go by what somebody said or what you heard, you can go directly. A lot of times you can go to investor relations for that particular company. So right now I'm on investor.amctheaters.com. I do not currently hold any shares of AMC. So this is what a press release from This came out on what was today? Let me see. What was that? 14 Friday. I think this came out on. Here we go. Here it is right here. AMC Burbank 16 and AMC Central City 15 to reopen on Monday, March 15. AMC Theaters is preparing to open all locations in Los Angeles on Friday, March 19. On the 19th. So they're looking at this Friday. AMC is looking to open up all of its movie theaters in Los Angeles. AMC Theaters is the largest theater company in the United States, Europe, and in the Middle East, and in the world. I didn't know that. Today, I know they're pretty big, but I know they were the biggest. Today, they announced that the two of its flagship locations in Los Angeles, AMC Burbank 16 and AMC Central City 15, will open on Monday afternoon, March 15. So they had two of their large ones open up on today, March 15. AMC is planning to open all of its remaining 23 movie theaters in Los Angeles County beginning on March 19. Additionally, AMC is preparing to resume operations at nearly all of its 56 California AMC theater locations on March 19, assuming the proper local approvals are in place. AMC will reopen its theaters once approved to do so by state and local authorities. So AMC right now, they jumped like 24% today due to the fact that they put out this press release saying that, hey, they're $14 now. You know, they were single digits and it pretty much was almost a dying sport, but they're saying, hey, we're not dead yet. We'll open up all of our locations in Los Angeles. They open up two large locations on Monday, and they're looking to open up the rest of them in California by this Friday. So that's a big deal. You know, that's money that's supposed to be coming back to them. Now everybody has transitioned and everybody's coming back to the rebound stock. So everybody's looking at the companies that's going to rebound. Everybody's looking at travel. People are looking at, travel, leisure. What I call leisure is things like Carnival, Disney. They're looking at those things reopening. The number one way Disney makes its money is through parks, and parks have been closed for about the last year. So imagine when those parks start to open back up. Also, look at Lyft and Uber. Look at Lyft and Uber starting to come back into play when they're going to start. What are Lyft and Uber going to start doing? They're going to start. People are going to start traveling. Lyft had its best week ever 2 weeks ago since the pandemic hit. Now you're looking at Uber. Imagine Uber, who started to thrive via Uber Eats and not via rides. Imagine when those rides start to kick back up. So right now you're seeing big AMC is saying we're not dead, we're not done, we are coming back in the game, and we're going to continue to fight. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see what we got. LK Raw. LK Raw says, hi there. I'm here for the live chat. I wanted to buy some AMC, but didn't have enough dry powder. What's you didn't have enough stock? You didn't have enough cash, I mean to say. What do you think is a good price to buy from here? When I see companies make a big jump, I never buy that day. LLJ, what's going on, Prince? Loving that SI today. Okay, there you go. I know you're loving that SI. SI Silvergate, you know, Silvergate had tech stocks has been getting beat up, and as you see, everybody is running up. You're seeing people trying to change their way of doing things, right? So when you're looking at SI, oh, Max B is over there on Twitch. That's the first person I've ever seen on Twitch. So yes, I am on Twitch, streaming in the Twitch. He says AMC is drying up like GameStop. AMC is drying up. That could be said a little bit. I'll change my light here for a second. Give me 1 second. That could possibly be said, right? I don't want to go that far. Maybe it does. I'll get that straight after the show. Give me 1 second. I know what I'm doing here. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me fix my green screen while we're talking. No, how about there? There we go. All right, that's much better. Okay. I need to get one more light over here too. All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing people are saying, what is a good price for AMC? When I see the stock jump up like that, 24, 25%, that's definitely not a day I'm going to buy. You see SI had a great day today. I'm expecting it to cool off tomorrow. When things jump out of the norm like that, AMC itself, my concern with AMC is I know movie theaters will open, but I don't know if movie theaters. I just think that what we just witnessed with Coming to America 2, I think that's more the future than anything else. What do y'all think? When I look at AMC, I don't know if it's going to be relevant enough to even survive next year. I don't know. People say what's a good price. I would say right now it went up to 25% today, around about the $10 price, but something with AMC, I'm not sure. Like I would be more interested into something like Carnival or something like an airline or maybe even Six Flags. I can see a Six Flags is $50 more than the AMC because yes, AMC will be back. They got all these movie theaters, but is AMC Blockbuster? Is AMC Blockbuster, ladies and gentlemen? That's my question. I don't know. I wouldn't. When I look at the future of its business operations, yes, it's going to open back up. Yes, people will watch the movies, but I don't know. It did Coming to America 2 start a new trend? Did that start a new trend? I don't know. So now everybody enjoyed watching Coming to America 2. That's the number one movie in the country. As everybody know, Amazon brought it for like 125 million or something like that. It cost them 60 million to make it. They brought it for 125 million. So will this be the future? I really can't say for AMC. Here we go. Max B said the price of popcorn only makes me want to not want to go. The price of popcorn. Yeah, that's true. The price of popcorn, that's how they make their money. He said, I brought AMC calls at a strike price of $6. Nice. When did you buy those calls, Tori Williams? Jonathan Williams said, I think the same. Prime is the new Regal and AMC. Yeah, I don't know. They're going to open up. They're trying to fight back. They're trying to generate their revenue. But I think movie theaters will always be here. But I think it's maybe more of a dying sport. I think that things are slowly going to shift to what we're seeing already. That's why I don't long-term, as a long-term investor, I don't know. As a short-term day trader, you might be someone that look at it and see the volume. As a short-term, I couldn't see it as of right now due to the fact of as a short-term trader, I couldn't. It just had a big run up today, so I would be probably shorting it because I think people are very optimistic because of the news of them reopening, but I don't know how they're going to last, over time. We will see the trend of movies. Maxie said, think about how much the movies can make going to show instead of streaming. Yeah, that's true. Think about how much movies can make going to show instead of streaming. Yeah, because you've seen a lot of people are getting into streaming. People are really independent. People are releasing or streaming now. Not too many people want to go get that packed theater like they once was. So it's something I always say with pandemics. The pandemic, people think like, oh, wait till we get back. Now realizing this is our new way forward. Okay, Clarence got a good point. He said the movie date experience would not go away. Movies are part of the wooing process. That's true. I could see that. But remember when we had what they call those drive-through movies? Was it drive-through movies or movies you drive up to? I know they're still here, but back in the 50s, drive-up movies was like the way everybody drove up, sat in their car and watched the movie. And now those things are like a dinosaur. They're kind of coming back in a way too. That's kind of funny that drive up movies are kind of coming back more so of the movie theaters. Me as a consumer, and when you look at consumer taste and consumer trust and consumer preferences, most consumers, I would rather, that's true. If it was a first time date, the likelihood that a girl or a guy or whatever will come to your house, I wouldn't feel comfortable going to a woman's house for the first date and watching a movie. I mean, unless you got other plans, right? But to get to know somebody, a lot of women probably wouldn't feel comfortable with that. Hey, let me just go to the stranger house and watch this premiere of a movie. They may want to feel out. So it is a leisure thing. I will say that is maybe, I don't know, maybe that's going to be a leisure thing for the old people. Maybe the young people, they're not going to be into that. Maybe the young people are just going to be like, hey, you know what? We're going to watch it over Zoom. I'm gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it over Zoom. Then we're gonna go out and grab some to eat. But we don't know. We'll see the taste of the covers. You're right, Al. It's drive-in theaters. Yes, people used to be able to pay $10, drive in. That was the old school way of doing things. People get a milkshake, some popcorn, and watch a movie and turn around and leave. Now the new phase is that's kind of changing now. You know? Al Weasel say, isn't every first date a movie and dinner? I don't think packed theaters are going to go away. Okay, Al is saying that, and Clarence, they're saying they don't believe it. Movie theaters will never go away. So, plus their streams are surround sound and are better than my house. Okay, so Max B's over there on Twitch. He's saying, plus I think streams are better way than the house. So that is a good point. People are debating it. That's a good debate. I think that right now it's not a good entry point. They just had a very great day today. I think as they decline a little bit more, let's look at AMC. This is one of the ways I look at it. What was AMC doing before the pandemic? Let's pull up this one here. Let's go to Google. AMC. We want to see what was AMC stock doing before the pandemic. What was AMC stock doing before the pandemic? Okay. All right. So now let's go back to, let's look at a 5-year chart. So pre-pandemic, AMC was on a decline. Y'all can see my screen here. Let me blow it up so y'all can see this. So AMC's, let me look at the max on them. Their highest price ever, $35. So the highest price they seen they ever hit was $35. And the last time they had $35 was December 16th, December 2016. So 5 years ago, it was AMC stock has been on a decline in the past 4.5 years almost. So you can see this. December 23rd, 2016, AMC was at $35. Ever since then, it's been on a slow, steady decline. This is before the pandemic hit. Now, right here, before the pandemic hit, on February, it was in March, it was at $7. When the pandemic hit, it dropped all the way down to $3. Right now, it's back up to $14. So if your overall peak was $35 and now you're at $14, which is cool, maybe right here at $20, I could say $20 could potentially be as high. But if you look at before the pandemic hit, what was AMC doing? It wasn't like, oh man, the pandemic was the one that brought it down. No, if you look from 2016 all the way to now, it's been on a slow decline. The highs, it was $35. That was in 2016. So from 2016, you had a down year. You look at from 2017. 2017, that was a pretty much of a decline of a year. 2018, it kind of started to push itself back up, but it seems like it ended the year almost flatline. 2019 was another decline year for AMC. And then you look at right here, it was already coming into 2020. It was already on a decline, and then the pandemic just pushed it down even further to $3. So it bottomed out at about $2.60. So when I look at you before the pandemic hit, it wasn't like, hey man, everything was going good in the hood and everything. Next thing you know, the pandemic just came and just knocked us off our horse. That cannot be said about our next companies that we're going to talk about. Let's get into travel stocks continuing to roar. Now let's take for a prime example, let's look at Southwest LUV stock. It's $62 a day, flying high. Let's go back on the max of Airlines. That's too far. Let's go 5-year chart. So as you can see, you look at Southwest Airlines. This is a chart for Southwest Airlines. Let's look at the max. What was the highest price Southwest Airlines ever was? $65. $65. That's why I say, hey, is it time to sell? Is it time to rotate out of travel? Because let's go back to this 5-year chart and we look pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, you can see Southwest Airlines in 2020 was at about $54. It was at 50 something dollars. And you can see when the pandemic hit, it dropped all the way down to $23, right? From $23 all the way up, you were seeing, hey, from the pandemic hit of May of last year when it bottomed out at $23, it's been on a steady incline ever since, essentially quadrupling its value from its bottom. Right from May until now, you're seeing Southwest is quadrupling its value. But before the pandemic hit, you're talking about Southwest Airlines was sitting around that $50, $60 range. Where is that today is where it was sitting at before the pandemic. So look at it right here. Look at this peak, February of 2020, before it fell off a cliff. That's the prices at now. That's the price it's at now. So when I look at Southwest Airlines, I'm like, well, everything was going fine before. Look at that 5-year chart. You know, it had a decline back there in 2016 and it's been up and a little choppy ever since. Before it fell off a cliff, you can see it fell off a cliff when the pandemic hit. So when I look at somebody like AMC, it wasn't like everything was fine before everything started to collapse. Let me see what y'all say in the comments. What's my Twitch? My Twitch is Al. My Twitch is The Investor Show. My Twitch is The Investor Show. So y'all follow me on Twitch. If you want to catch me on Twitch, I'm twitching out live. I don't play video games, at least not yet. I might be playing here with my son when I get him one of them, you know, I don't know, Xbox or something. But okay, so Clarence here is saying movie theaters are like the bars and bowling alleys. I can see that. So you're saying it's a pastime. I can see that, possibly. You know, people will always drink and go to the bar. LK Ross said, I could see movie theaters going away, but if it's at home, what about the people downloading the stream? It's hard to say. It's 50-50. That's a tough one to say. Tori Williams said, I wouldn't think about buying the stock right now. Which one? I'm thinking he's talking about AMC. Definitely not right now. I know some people are looking at the long-term points. I wouldn't be there. Alan said, I'm hitting key points. LK Ross said, if I had the foresight that I have now, I would have went all in on these stocks when they dip. Silly me. That's what everybody say. The rearview mirror is always clear in the world of investing. That's a quote there from Warren Buffett. The rearview mirror is always clear in the world of investing. It's the windshield that's cloudy. We don't know where we're going next. Of course, I would have, you know what I know now, a year ago, I would have thrown everything I had into Southwest Airlines. You know what I know now, I would have thrown everything I had into Uber. Uber's done good so far this year too. You know, you see Uber just going crazy over since. I mean, people are not talking about it, but you look at the numbers, there it is. You know, I've been talking about it, but hey, it is what it is. Kid Kobe says, good afternoon, sir. Callie is in the house. Good job, Callie. What's going on? California is in the house. All right. So LK Ross said AMC and Southwest. LK Ross said AMC and Southwest is my night and day looking at the chart. AMC is probably a bad long-term investment. Yeah, when you look at the chart, ladies and gentlemen, people can't make the argument to say AMC was on the up and up, pandemic took it out. AMC was on a decline before the pandemic, right? And you look at Southwest Airlines, it was doing okay until you can see that pandemic dip. So one can assess and say, hey, well, airlines was doing fine. It was a pandemic that took them out. They can say that. I cannot say that for a company that was already on a decline anyway. I don't want to catch a falling knife, right? I do not want to catch a falling knife. Let's see what we got here. Make sure we're good to go. All right, let's see here. Clarence says, I brought the dip is a major way. He said, Clarence M said, I brought the dip is a major way last in it. I think you meant to say in a major way last year. I think it's time for me to take some profits. Yes, on the airlines, when I look at the travel stocks, I'm looking at Southwest Airlines is back to and exceeding its pre-pandemic levels at $62. Because you're seeing a stock rotation that I keep hitting on. A stock rotation keeps happening where last year, everybody left travel for tech. And now so far this year, everybody's leaving tech for travel. And I kept telling everybody, if Uber finds a way to become profitable by the end of the fourth quarter, I would caveat this to say I am an owner in Southwest. I am an owner in Uber. So I'm not trying to pump up a company. I'm pumping up a company with factual data, right? Uber CEO is here to be, his goal is to be profitable by the end of this year, fourth quarter of 2021, and his goal to be profitable. If he can do this is what you can have. Clarence, hold on. Now you seem like you're changing. Clarence said AMC is a dead cat bounce. Who knows what a dead cat bounce is? What is a dead cat bounce? He said AMC is a dead cat bounce. Nicole Young, how you doing? She's from California, I think. She said some people are flying less for business and work. Will stock prices increase after COVID? Ooh, that's a good one. I think that what you're seeing right now in the travel stock industry with what you're seeing right now in the travel world, and you're seeing a lot of optimism being pushed into travel. I think people will still go on cruises. I don't care what happens. I think people will get back out there and we will cruise. And people will have to fly in order to cruise. I think that right now, I do think that travel is producing a little bit of a bubble. I think the optimism is there, but I think it's too much, right? So with me, she's saying that, does she think people will travel less from work, and will the stock price increase? I think the stock price right now, Nicole, is getting a little bit towards that bubble, because you can look at when was the last time Southwest Airlines trading for $62? Let's take a look. I have the stream. This is Southwest Airlines. When was the last time Southwest Airlines was trading for $62? Let's go all the way back. The last time Southwest Airlines was $62 was January of 2018, almost 3 years ago. Well, that is 3 years ago. 3 years ago that the stock has hit this price. So when I'm looking now and I'm like, whoa, Southwest Airlines, yes, you're at, no, I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that. It was September of 2018. September of 2018 was the last time Southwest Airlines hit this price. Right? So you're talking about almost 3 years ago that Southwest Airlines has been at $62. This is where I will look and say, I cringe a little bit and say, before the pandemic, they haven't hit this price in a long time. So, but out of all companies, Southwest Airlines is the nice, big, pretty company. It's the most financially stable one that's out there in the airline industry. When you boil down the finances, you got Southwest number one, Delta number two, when you boil down the finances, and we have boiled down the finances numerous times on this show. There you go, LK Raw. That's a good one. He said, you're going to learn today. LK Raw said a good point. While everyone is leaving tech, I'm steadily buying, hopefully for the rebound. My goal is 100K this year with tech will get me there. So everybody's leaving tech. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody ran to tech and left airlines. Now I believe that airlines are kind of getting into that bubble phase to where optimism is very high with the vaccination going around and people thinking that we're going to get back into the groove of things, which is true. We will get back into the groove of things. But why is the stock price trading higher than it has in the last 2 or 3 years? But you're looking at companies like Apple and Tesla, especially Apple, one of the largest cap by per capita, the largest company in the world by market cap, $1 trillion, 2 trillion, market cap of 2 trillion is trading for $123. So you got to look at a year to date. Look at Apple. Apple came out at $129. It's declined for the year, right? Everybody's leaving Apple. But let's go back. Let's look at a 5-year chart. Let's look at last year. 2020, it had that dip, went down to $57. What you know, they did a stock split last year. Went down to $57 from 20. Look at 2020 from the bottom all the way into the beginning of this year, Apple it doubled, almost quadrupled itself, right? Now all of a sudden, Apple is down as everybody's running into travel. So we're seeing that stock rotation. We are seeing that stock rotation. Now, the next thing I want to get into, ladies and gentlemen, investing in high inflation. What does that mean? Investing into high inflation, right? So when we look at this, investing in high inflation, right now, everybody's concerned with inflation because of two or three things that are going on. The number one thing we got going on inflation is what? The big thing that we got going on in inflation is we have very low interest rates, followed by stimulus packages everybody's getting stimulus packages. Not everybody, but a lot of Americans, millions of Americans are getting stimulus packages. And when you have stimulation happen like that, you got to ask yourself, what is this going to do with inflation? Now, is there anybody out there that does not know what inflation is? This is a no judge zone. I'm not going to be like, what? You don't know what inflation is? Plenty of things that I don't know, right? So now you got to ask yourself, if inflation rises, because you've seen these bond yields jumping out of control, the 10-year bond yields jumping out of control, and if it wasn't for monetary policy, they'll be jumping through the roof. These bond policies have been doing what to inflation? They have been pushing up inflation. They haven't been pushing up inflation, but their reaction to stimulus packages going out. Stimulus packages are going out. With inflation running up, how can you benefit? That's my whole point. With inflation running up, how can you benefit? As an investor, right? Bond yields are running up. What does that do to bond prices? LK Ross said, well, okay, we already talked about that when I looked over that one there. Oh, we got somebody else over there on Twitch. Bobby on Twitch says, do you expect AMC to dip? Yes, I do. Yes. People overgas. People forgot. I'm trying to think of a metaphor I can use here. Some people have forgotten what they're dealing with. It's almost been like, if you're a football fan out there, it's like being an Atlanta Falcons fan and you watch them go to the Super Bowl. You think it's going to be different this time. And you couldn't find out the Falcons are going to Falcon. So I believe AMC was dying. It was, stock price wise, it was dying. The trend was happening already before the pandemic. The pandemic just kind of pushed it further to its death. Right? And now everybody optimistic. Everybody is optimistic about any stock that's opening. Six Flags up. Carnival Cruise Lines, Airlines. I haven't even looked at the restaurant stocks, but I guarantee you right now, if I looked at restaurant stocks, they'll probably be booming as well. Let's look at Red Robin's. What is Red Robin stock doing? So everybody's optimistic about the economy opening. Here we go. Look, here you go right here. Look at Red Robin's. Red Robin's jumped. Let me see. Stop that. Why did I stop that? I should have. Red Robin's had a nice day today too, ladies and gentlemen. Where am I at on here? Red Robin's jumped 9%. Nobody's talking about it. Who knew that? Red Robin's, $41, jumped 9% today. Let's look at his year-to-date chart. Look at this. Red Robin's, oh my God, nobody said nothing about this. Red Robin's, the restaurant company, has gone from $18 to $41. Somebody do the math. I didn't even bring my calculator. From $18 to $41, how much of a growth is that? If you went from 18 to 14, I know that it sounds like it's about 200%. Am I right? 18 plus 18, now it's 136. So Red Robin's has jumped over 100% so far this year. January 4th, Red Robin's was $18. Now it is $41. Nobody's talking about the restaurant industry. And today alone, Red Robin's jumped $3, 9%. So everything that potentially has the opportunity to reopen, everybody's jumping to it. So do I expect AMC stock to dip? Yes, I do, because before the pandemic, it was not doing that good. Now, I've had the Red Robins on this episode here numerous times. She was the last CEO. It's oh God, I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh goodness, she might be listening to me. Denny. What's Denny last name? Drawing a blank. I don't even have my phone on me. I know her first name is Denny. Oh, I can't think of her last name. But she was the CEO of Red Robin. She's been on the show as the CEO, and she stepped down and she turned it over as well. So shout out to Red Robins. They're headquartered here in Denver, Colorado. So look at it. Red Robins was, before the pandemic, Red Robins was $35. It shot all the way down to $6. When the pandemic hit, Red Robins went down to $6. March this time last year, Red Robins was $6. Now today, Red Robins is $41. That's how much of a return. So you're looking at, from 1 year, Red Robins has gone up, I don't know, that's about 6 going up to 40. That's about a 600% return, if I'm not mistaken, y'all. Huge returns from 1 year. So far this year, Red Robins is up over 100%. Nobody's discussing that. Nobody's talking about it. So anything that has the potential to reopen is jumping like crazy. So I do believe AMC will dip again. LLJ said bonds are down. Yes, when yields go up, bond prices go down. When bond yields go up, bond prices go down. So bond prices are down. So bond prices are hit big time when yields are pushed up that high. Kay says on YouTube, says, I've been telling people inflation is good for the stock market. If the dollar is weaker, the cost per stock increases. Yes, inflation will push the stock market, but it also will push gold and silver. And I think it's going to push cryptocurrencies too. Better bond years for loaning money. In which, if your bond prices are down, so if you're looking to get inside of a bond, the price is down because usually the yield will go up. Am I think that you're speaking right on that. Al, you're right. 115%. Red Robins is up 115% this year. That's a restaurant. You know. Red Robins is up 115%. Kay, it said this convo is making. Why is this conversation making you really sad? Kay, where you from? Where you calling from? Look like your profile picture got. I think that looks like the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Why is this conversation making you so sad? Okay, Bob over there on Twitch says GameStop has been dying for years. Have you seen its stock price? Yes. But everybody know that's one of those meme stocks. We know it's some manipulation handled in there. Very big case, So it's a lot of manipulation in GameStop with people pushing it up and trying to short squeeze people, stuff like that. That's why I don't really give too much grief to them. Right? So I know it's a lot of manipulation. That's why I don't give a lot of things. Kay said, "Oh, that's why the conversation is making you sad." That's pretty funny. She said, she said, thinking about the stock I could have got last year. I thought she was saying, the conversation was horrible or something. I'm like, we're not saying nothing that bad. I got my sound effects. I'm looking for any reason to use my sound effects. So, yeah, she's unfunny, but she said this conversation is making her sad because she's looking at all the stocks she could have got. I mean, heck, I had the Red Robin CEO on the show in the middle of a pandemic, and I was thinking I wasn't touching Red Robins with a 10-foot pole. I was like, I don't know if they're going to make it. Bob, you're right. AMC is a meme stock as well. You're right. AMC is a meme stock, all these meme stocks, but you got to think about it. In the beginning of this show, I told everybody how the SEC is shutting down on meme stocks. So as you're watching meme stocks, you got to wonder the SEC is shutting down on this. So the meme stock, I was like, why don't we have a meme stock ETF, exchange traded fund? But this meme stock thing that's going on and sounding cool and everything, guess what? The SEC is now following Reddit. It's probably listening to me on YouTube. It's probably listening to me on whatever. I do not own any Red Robins. I do own Southwest. I do own Uber. But when I report data, I put the data in front of everybody's face with factual backing it up. Right? I use financial statements. I use press releases that are released from the company, not press releases released by somebody else. So when I go and look at from the company's investor relation website, I say, hey, this is what's going on. So everything is pushed back to itself. All right. She said AMC to the moon, $1.90. AMC to the moon. You got it for $1.90, $1.90. Yes, that's very good for you on that end. But I think that AMC would do some cooling off tomorrow, and I can see AMC at a $20 range. I can see it getting up there. But going for the long run, nothing against AMC. But when I put you out there against the gauntlet of companies, I could not see AMC. Now, James came on the show and made a very good point when he spoke about oil. So let's take a look at LK Ross said, I think most stocks that are up before the pandemic will go back to those prices. A lot of stocks are at least halfway there now. Stocks that are down may not recover. Okay. And I'm with that too. I always look at other companies, right? 1 second. I don't click my light off. Y'all give me 1 second. Yes. I'm right there with you. I believe that companies like the travel stocks are getting overpumped right now. I'm looking at, hey, what's going on? Lucky's mom, she's really paying attention. Lucky's mom, she said, yes, I caught the replay, Uncle James, BPT. That's true. The BPT, Uncle James came on, and I always call him my uncle. I met Uncle James probably like 5 or 6 years ago on Wall Street. I was out on Wall Street doing tours and learning about Wall Street, and he was my tour guide on Wall Street. So after he got done giving me a tour, I said, hey, can I take you to lunch? And he said, sure, I'm done for the day. So we went to lunch, and that was the start of our relationship. We met in New York City on Wall Street. I was supposed to see him again in 2019. I did a book signing at Barnes & Noble in New York City, but James was horrible. I'm not going to lie, James. You probably can hear this. I told him this a million times. James was like, hey, Prince, get on the A train and catch the C train and get off on the 32nd and take a right hand. I'm like, man, what in the world are you talking about? Like, dude, I don't know how to get over there. And I didn't have a whole lot of time in New York City the last time I went back. So we missed each other. Long story short, I had to get back to JFK to get, to fly back to Denver. And we went, he was trying to give me directions to get down to Wall Street from, I don't know where I was, Midtown, downtown. It's New York City. It's a huge city. So, he's been in New York his whole life. He's worked on Wall Street for 30, 40 years. And he was trying to give me directions to get down there. And I was just like, James, dude, I should have just caught a cab. Looking back, I should have just caught a cab because I was on trains. I caught one train, then I was on the wrong train, then I got on the right train. So anyway, that's Uncle James that, he came on the show and he made a good point. He said, Prince, look at BPT. I think oil is going to have a great summer. And I said, James, I think you're crazy. What are you talking about, oil? But we kind of came to the conclusion that oil is a good short-term play, whereas green energy is a good long-term play. So oil is a good short-term play because he was saying that, he said, Prince, look at all these planes. Everybody think these planes are going to go back into the sky. Everybody think that these cruise lines, everybody's ready to hop on a cruise. Everybody's ready to hop on a plane. Everybody's ready to start traveling. And he's saying essentially planes don't run by green energy. Planes don't run by cruise lines don't run by green energy. So he said in the long run, we're going to build an infrastructure. But in the short run, he was looking at, hey, no, I don't believe that green energy is long term, but oil is short term. So yes, he gave out that little BPT. That's his thing or whatever. So yeah, definitely. I'm very shocked to see you catch that. Where are we at on here? Kay said the meme stocks messed up the valuations of good companies like NOK. I'm not sure. Is that Nokia? NOK? She's okay. Nicole Young out there in California. Kay, I don't know where you're from or where you're checking in from, but I know Nicole is in California. She says, if the movie theaters become affordable, less expensive, do you think they will make a comeback? I think it goes, AMC makes his money from majority of his money from the concessions. So part of his business model is to sell that movie theater popcorn, that AMC popcorn. I think they sell AMC popcorn too. So I think part of their business model, they have to go, they're gonna I mean, this is Nicole, I think it boils down to what I like to say about Blockbuster. When Netflix came along, Blockbuster tried to emulate Netflix, but it could not compete because it had too much overhead. All those big cathedrals that we see in movie theaters, all those big cathedrals, that's a lot of money. Just think about the light bill, the water bill, the gas. I want probably some gas in there too. Light bill, water bill, gas, janitors, uniforms, popping popcorn, how much popcorn they don't even sell, how much butter they got to melt. Just think about how much the overhead. Blockbuster could not compete with Netflix because their overhead was so much higher. Blockbuster had to have drivers, it had to have workers, it had to have stockers, it had to have lights. I mean, I miss Blockbuster. I mean, I wanted a job there too at one time when I was in high school. But when you look at that, the overhead was just so much higher versus Netflix was just it was just mailing DVDs and they had a DVD concession stand pretty much. So you look at those two, Blockbuster could not slim itself down to compete with Netflix because their overhead was too high. AMC, just the mortgage and rent and leasing that they're doing, that's a huge in the company. Automotive is going to overperform every industry this year. Okay, GM, which company, Kay? Which company you looking at? Ford, GM, which company? Tesla. Ooh, Jonathan Martin got a good point. He said, "What do you think about Rolls Royce?" You know what, Jonathan? I cannot speak intelligent enough on Rolls Royce. I haven't looked at the finances of Rolls Royce. I apologize about that, Jonathan. Beautiful family, by the way. Beautiful family. Bobby says AMC to the moon, and it's Red Robin, not Red Robins. AMC to the moon. But I think AMC, I can see AMC at $20, but I don't know if I can just, if you're looking for a short term, maybe play, maybe, but I can't see myself going down with that. Cars are going to be the next personal device. I think we're going to get rid of cars. I think they're already working on that. Okay, people are looking at, hey, I can pay Uber $200 a month and get, I don't know, 300 rides. I heard those talks going around instead of having a car. Real estate-ish says the SEC is useless and does nothing to hedge just small fries. Hedge just small fries? Well, the SEC did just have a lot of power. Then it was brought back into the 1940s. They're the governing body over the market. So, they could come in and say, hey, you know what? We're going to charge you with this. Please don't mess with me. So, okay. Case says Rolls-Royce is owned by BMW. You can Google the automaker cap, and it's only 25 companies. They moved around. Those Chinese complies. The Chinese complies. And the EV pump the market as the Chinese companies drop, the rest go up. So I'm essentially saying that she's saying that, hey, the market is pretty small. And as the Chinese companies drop, the automotive industry will go up. Okay. I'm seeing what everybody's saying. LLJ said, I held on to Ford. I can't let it go right now. I just need them to start back paying dividends. How is Ford doing these days? Let me see how Ford is doing. They should be doing okay. Let's see how they're looking right now. Oh, they're at $13. Okay. So Ford is doing pretty good this year. Yeah, I know they stopped their dividends. Yeah, Ford is doing okay. Ford almost doubled itself back. I think during the pandemic, Ford had went down to how much? $4. Okay, Ford is doing pretty good too. All these rebounding companies. Okay, Kate, that's a pretty good argument. I may have to have you call in to discuss that all the way because it's kind of hard to read that through the comments. She's saying additionally, they are merging conglomerates, and when the market crashed, they also dipped. Stocks like Ford, GM, TTM, HMC, STA, legacy companies are going to continue to grow. Look at those automotive companies I just mentioned. You're right. You're right, Kay. Okay, she got a good point. Kay, where you from? I don't know if that's a male or a female, but where you from? I like to kind of see where people are from, so when I see your name, I know LLJ, you're down in Georgia. Al said Blockbuster and Movie Gallery. That's pretty funny. Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, as we can see that, automotive, y'all brought up a good point. But anyway, investing in inflation, you got a couple things you can do to, if you think that the stock market is going to, if you're going to look at the stock market to invest into inflation, one of the top ways you can do that is with the real estate. I'm not a fan of real estate investment trusts because I think they tie too much into the market. So I'm not big on that, but I definitely believe in hard held real estate. So as the cost of goods and services go up, the resale value would increase for homes as well. So I can see real estate will benefit from inflation. Also, I can see with the inflation, stocks will benefit from inflation. But I think that, we've seen as of lately, it's been beating up tech stocks very bad. But as the price of goods and services go up, I think stocks will do well in inflation. I think real estate will do well in inflation. And I think companies that sell consumer goods will do well. Inflation is the price of goods and services that are increasing. And I think companies that focus in goods and services like Walmart, Target, Costco's, Amazon, who sells goods and services, they will benefit drastically. Let's be honest, majority of the stimulus check money is going to go to Amazon, Walmart, Costco's, Target, those companies right there, right? Kay said you actually taught me how to use E-Trade. Oh, appreciate that. That's all right. Give it up. Round of applause. Appreciate that, Kay. That's my hand clap to you. Okay. He's a guy. Okay. Kay is a guy from Brooklyn originally, now living in Connecticut. Okay. That was my first duty station. I was out there in Groton, Connecticut. No, New London, Connecticut. I remember those days. Max B's over there on Twitch. He said Ford just did a huge recall. Okay. That's something I could be worrying about. You're right. You know what, Clarence, you're right. I would take that back. Growth stocks will suffer in inflation. Value stocks will benefit. You're right. I would take that back. I cannot speak in stocks in general because as we've seen, stocks like tech stocks has been getting beat up in inflation, but we've seen value stocks like the things like Walmart and Target and Costco's and things like that. You've seen those companies, they're benefiting from inflation. So companies, I would take that back, Clarence. You did correct me on that. I can't speak in stocks in general. Those are growth stocks that will get beat up, but the value stocks, the companies like I just named, those are the ones that's going to benefit the most from inflation. Usually the growth stocks are the things like your NASDAQ and Tesla, not Tesla, but Tesla is part of the NASDAQ. Your tech stocks and the NASDAQ are the ones who usually are going to get beat up. All right. You're right. Automotive is I think that they're looking to phase out automotive. I think that's way down the line. People are still going to be buying and holding cars for a while. So yeah, I believe in that. Value stocks. So I would say value stocks, real estate, and what was the other company I said? What was the other value stocks, real estate? What was someone else I just said? You got tips as well. Treasury investment. You got tips as well. Treasury investment protection. They kind of go up with inflation. So if inflation's increased, so their interest rate will go up. You got tips, you got growth stocks or value stocks, tips, real estate. And it was something else that I said, I can't remember right now. But those are the big three that you're going to do that if you believe inflation. We have very big inflation concerns right now with stimulus checks being poured out to everybody in a very low interest rate society. People are looking at that. We good evening, Prince. South Carolina is in the house. Okay, we got Twitch. Okay, Twitch is on fire tonight. All right. Let's sip and talk with Freeman. Hey, how you doing, there, Miss Freeman over there on Twitch? Said good evening, Prince, South Carolina. So we got South Carolina, Connecticut, all those other things, right? Max Bezo, he said NFTs. We just spoke about that. Oh man, Max, I got to do more research onto that. NFTs are like private property, things that you own, things that you can kind of lease out. It'd be very good for people in the music industry that you can license out. I don't want to speak intelligent about it, but I have to do more research on NFTs. But I do know that's kind of like a general topic of it, and it's kind of been hot as of here lately. People been asking about NFTs too. So I'm sorry about that, Max. I got to do more research. On the next episode, I have more about the NFTs. LLJ said, yeah, K Prince dropped more gems than Gary Vee. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, Al Crit. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, Freeman, how you doing? She's over there on Twitch. All right. Oh yeah, Gush, Gush. Yeah, Kay, have you checked out Gush? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people wasn't talking about Gush a while ago. Now Gush is doing what, Gush is pretty much that oil. I think it was at $3 when we talked about it here on the show. Let me bring it up here. I'm knocking all my stuff over. Let's look at Gush before we get out of here. GUSH. Goodness gracious. Gush is at $86 now. Gush was like $3 last year. Gush was like $3 last year, wasn't it? Where was it? Let's go 5 years. Where is it at? 25. Where is it at? Where is Gush? Let's do a 1 year chart. Maybe it might tell me then. But it was lower than that. Yeah, Gush was at 7. Yeah, Gush is going crazy. Now, this is a leveraged bullish ETF on the oil and gas industry. It has doubled in price this year as well. This is something I brought up. I don't know why. Why did I bring up Gush last year? Oil prices or whatever. I don't know. That's why I looked at them. That's the way that I looked at them. Yeah, I did look at that. 5 years. I mean, their upside price is ridiculous. I knew that 'cause I did that on this show. I did a pretty good episode on Gush a while ago, last year. And oil is kind of, I don't know. Oil might have a great summer. I'm keeping an eye on them. Definitely am. So people are asking me, do they think Gush is going to hit $1,000? Because yeah, Gush was that way before. I did an episode on this. Y'all let me know if y'all remember, if y'all saw that episode. I was talking about Gush last year, being the oil and things like that. I think oil is at 60 something dollars a barrel now. So, with everybody's jumping back to travel, everybody's ran away from green energy. Everybody forgot about green energy. I'm a big green energy person still. But for now, everybody has rotated now, and everybody's looking at the short term of, hey, look, these planes about to get into the air. They're going to need oil. Everybody's going to be back on the road. Gas prices are going to go up. We're going to see. I think that could be, oil could have a nice summer short term. Yeah, Gush is going crazy right now. Good on Gush. All right. I think that thing was like $3 at one time. And I was at 86 last year or something. It was at $3 at one time. I'm trying to see. Let me get a better. I should get a better calendar. I'm just using Google right now because it's easy. It's invested in fuel cell as well. That's what you're saying, Kay. Kay, that in Connecticut saying oil is invested in the fuel cell as well. It could be. Do I think it's going to hit $1,000? Man, I can see it getting over 100 easy. I can see Gush getting over 100. I can see Gush getting over 100 pretty easy, especially by the summertime. Everybody's forgot about green energy. What do you think about the F350 thing? The F350. Let me see. I think that's the ones that got recalled or something like that. F-35. You said F-35 or F-350? F-35 thing. Explain what you mean by that. Random Sandwich says, who got arrested? Oh, if you're talking about that, that was earlier in the show when we were talking about the SEC. Somebody at the SEC wrote about somebody on Twitter by the name of OC Millionaire. Got charged by the SEC for pumping up stocks and lying about news to get people to buy into it while they were selling the stocks. This is the article right here. This is on sec.gov up on the news. Came out today. What they was talking about that. And the title of that is the SEC obtains emergency asset freeze, charges California trader with posting false stock tweets. Man, the SEC is out here in full force and not playing around. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be getting out of here. He said gas stations turned into fuel. Ooh, I like that. Gas stations turn into fuel stations for trucks, planes, and ships. I like that because, California, they're talking about getting rid of them altogether. So give me 1 second to get my microphone together and get me a longer cord. But okay. This is going to have to get out of here today. He said, thanks, I'll check it out. Yes, the SEC, somebody by the name of OC Millionaire got shut down by the SEC. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, Max, we're going to talk about this one on the next episode. The F-35, the government wants to cut back, but Lockheed Martin saying they can cut prices. Okay, I will look into that one. That'll be on maybe tomorrow, later this week episode. And Clarence saying, good night, Prince. Good night, man. Good night. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I'm going to do a quick little recap. On today's episode, we talked about the SEC cracking down on social media influencers. This was a lot of this. So when everybody jump into the meme stocks, you got to be very mindful of that. The SEC is watching. Like I said before, know what you are up against, right? The next thing is travel stocks continue to rise. Now, travel stocks are rising so well that travel stocks are getting into a potential sell territory because companies like Southwest are now doing the stock price is higher than they were before the pandemic. Also, we talked about AMC had a nice little jump in the stock. They're looking to reopen. Their talks are reopening all their movie theaters, but the question came up, is AMC the future? I think AMC could be something for a quick turnaround, but I don't know about the future because I think the future of consumers consuming, the way we consume movies may potentially change. Number 4, we talked about investing into inflation. The 3 things that we talked about was tips. We also talked about value stocks going up. Value stocks being a value, going up, benefiting from inflation, and also real estate. All right. So price of goods and services. So hopefully y'all got some out of this episode. I love talking to y'all. I need to open up my phone line so y'all can call in the next time. So, because sometimes reading y'all comments and trying to think about what y'all are saying, it's a little delayed sometimes. But if I can talk to y'all and talk to everybody and see what everybody's saying, y'all can call in and we can have a conversation. All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope y'all got some out of it. Y'all be safe. And until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me doing around the globe, peace, be safe. I'm out. Thank you.